Hi there. Ontario government finally removed the capacity limitation on most businesses this week. As the government removes the restriction on our businesses, most business leaders, including myself, we are all thinking about our next step in terms of remote work environment. So whether you are trying to bring people back in office or you can allow them to work from home or some sort of hybrid solution where people work from home for certain days and some days they come to office, the fact is your staff is going through tremendous stress during this transition period. And as a business leader, what can you do to help your staff during this in a stressful time? On my YouTube channel, I had a discussion with business leaders and business owners, or CEO of the companies, consultants, coaches, keynote speakers, and authors, and you will find over hundreds of interviews on my YouTube channel. In this short video, I want to share top 3 challenges and opportunities that business leaders are dealing with during this transition. And also I want to share a few resources below this video as well that will help you how to deal with some of these challenges. So the first item I want to talk to you about work environment. People, when they work from home for 2 years and they have set up a comfortable work environment at home. And and the second part of that is, while your office was closed, may not be working from office, but most technology company, they were working extra hard to build product and services and software and hardware. So technology matured so much during these 2 years. So if your staff was working at home and they had a very comfortable environment and the hardware is good and they have a better internet speed and they come to office where you haven't upgraded your hardware or you haven't upgraded your software and your technology is a little older than what they were working at home, or your internet speed is a little bit slow, or the machines are working slow. So if the work environment is not as aligned as they were working from home, you're gonna have issues. You're not gonna have a very satisfied staff. So I'm not suggesting that you replace everything just to accommodate what everybody have at home, but it has to be some sort of benchmark. So if they have a very, very fast machines at home, but you gotta accommodate that at least you have a little bit better equipment that staff need to work when they come to office, because that will add to frustration that staff's already dealing with a lot of stress. Now we're gonna add more to their stress if they come to office. So just make sure that the work environment people had at home as they coming back to office is a similar work environment, so it's not very too slow compared to what they were dealing with at home. A lot of people at home, they use Macs, which they're using a Windows at work. Just make sure that it's not very, very slow. You're not behind the technology, and staff gets frustrated as they come back to office. The second item I want to talk to you about is a performance and productivity measurement. Before COVID, a lot of business leaders I know, we measure productivity, or we measure, staff performance based on a time, what time they come in the morning or what time they leave, either by time clock or just knowing what time people come in office and what time they leave. In this hybrid environment, you're not gonna have choices, those previous choices, how to measure, productivity and staff performance. You need to figure out new ways of measuring that. Either you need a new systems. You gotta measure performance and productivity based on a task completed and the work completed to move business forward, instead of just measuring a time itself, how much time to spend on a business. So think it through. You may need a new systems, you may need a new process, you may need some automation, but you gotta figure out what task staff is needs to complete and how do you measure those completed tasks. And you need a system in place to measure that performance, not only based on a time, but also on a workload and a task completed, instead of just simply at times. And a third thing I want to talk to you about is providing assistance for your staff. So whether they're working from home, whether they're working from office, technology changed over the last 2 years, and if you're changing the way you measure performance, most probably your system is gonna change as well, and your the way you measure the task and workload, that's gonna also change. So when you're going through a lot of changes, your staff need that information. They need a training. So first of all, you gotta provide documentation on what has changed in a business as a staff is going through it. Second part is make sure you provide some sort of training, some sort of documentation for them. They can access the documentation from office, or when they go home, they can also have access to the same documentation. Same as training, they can access the training from office, or when they go home, they have access to the same training and they can complete some of the training from home as well. The second part of that is providing assistance is not only, providing training is great, providing documentation is great. The next step is definitely, they're gonna, staff's gonna have some question out of training. Do you have somebody to answer some of those questions and help them out? If the staff doesn't have a time to go through, half an hour video training or an hour of training, and they only have one quick question, somebody should be there to help them out. So provide assistance when staff needed and provide documentation when they needed to do their job. And the third part is automation. Look for areas where you can help staff to automate some of that stuff. If they're looking for some help, how fast can we provide a support, and how do we automate some of the stuff so they're not wasting time just trying to figure things out. So provide the live help when they need it, whether they're working from home or from office. Provide as much assistance. That will definitely lower the stress level as staff is making transition back to office, or they're going to work from home some days. Okay. So those are 3 tips. I hope you enjoyed, and I'm also going to include a couple of videos below this email as well. Take a look at them. A couple of discussion. One was with Elaine Hunkins. Take a look at that. He's great. He's keynote speakers. He's been coaching businesses on leadership, and we had a discussion on a similar topic where we just talked about it. I'm going to include a link to his video. Also, Lenny Rivera. It's another discussion I had. She written a book on a workplace experience, and we were talking about the similar challenges that I just outlined in this video. I'm going to include a link to her interview below this video as well. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you find this videos valuable, make sure you subscribe to YouTube channel. And I'm always looking for your feedback. Send me your feedback, and also if you have any questions, my information is just below the video. I'm looking forward to a discussion. If any shape or form I could be any help to you, any service to you, and walk you through how other business leaders are dealing with these challenges I outline, I'm more than happy to do so. So my information is below the video. Send me a link, or send me information, or send me a note that if you like to chat, we can chat. Have yourself a great weekend. Have a good one. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.